An example, I'm just going to drop this frame at this particular point because just standing here with the experience I've had over the years, I can identify about 7 different species. I can see tall fescue, I can see Bermuda grass, I can see white clover, I can see yellow foxtail, a little bit of crabgrass, and actually there's another seed head of Dallas grass. So several species in just this one little 2 square foot area. And part of our plan is to teach you how to identify each one of these, or at least most of these. All right, as you look at just this section here, you see some plants that are really green. Most of the really green plants are cool season grass plants, which means their primary production season is in the seasons when the temperatures are below 80 degrees. Some of them are brown. These are warm season grasses. This happens to be Bermuda grass, foxtail, and Dallas grass. All 3 of these are warm season grasses, which means they make most of their production when the temperature is above 80. And when we start having frost and cold temperatures at night, they usually turn brown. The foxtail will die because it's an annual, just like a corn plant. The Dallas grass and the Bermuda grass will not die. Everything above the ground will turn brown, but the root system and the stolons or the rhizomes in that plant are just dormant. They're just not, there's no active green leaf on them. Whereas these other green leaf plants, most of them will remain green pretty much through midwinter at this location. Usually when the temperature gets down to about 28 to 30 degrees, you'll start seeing the warm season grasses turn brown, the leaf tissue turn brown. In lots of locations, even these plants will turn brown. They don't die, but the top growth does. The root system and the rhizomes do not. This green vegetation here is tall fescue. And this is November the 11th. We've already had a couple of freezes in this area, but the cool season grasses like fescue do not turn brown until we have many, many more days of freezing action. This broadleaf plant here is white clover. It's a cool season plant. It's a legume. It will remain green probably up through Christmas. Then probably these leaves will drop off or turn brown and drop. This is Bermuda grass, and it's a warm season species that the predominant growth period is when the temperature is above 80 or 85, and when we have the first freeze, the leaves start to turn brown, and after a few more freezes, everything above the earth turns brown, and so that's what's happening here. This foxtail is a summer annual grass that is just like corn. It comes up in the spring, goes through its life cycle, and dies, and so this particular plant has died not because of the frost, but just because it's finished its life cycle. Okay, here is Dallas grass, another warm season grass that happens to have a head on it, but it will begin to turn brown as soon as we have a few more freezes here in late November. A warm season grass that grows about the same season as Bermuda grass. So just summarize, we've got tall fescue, white clover, Bermuda grass, yellow foxtail, Dallas grass, and Kentucky bluegrass. I see a small Kentucky bluegrass plant in here. So just in this little section, what is that, 5 or 6 different species. This is a really old pasture with lots of different species of plants in it, and some of them stand out because of color, some of them stand out because of the width of the leaf blade or the height or the density. What we have here in the middle of this particular frame is an orchard grass plant that stands out mainly because of the color variation. And I'm about half colorblind, but this is a different shade of green compared to the rescue grass here in front of it and compared to fescue that we've talked about before. Okay, we're looking at another small area in this pasture, and inside this little area we've got tall fescue, we've got rescue grass, Bermuda grass, Carolina geranium, Virginia pepperweed, and horse nettle. All right, inside this frame, within the same pasture, we see tall fescue, mostly Bermuda grass, a few plants of Dallas grass, and a couple of plants of Virginia pepperweed.